Hello everyone, it's Sunflower Spirit here, and I'm here today with a pick a card reading. This reading is going to be how can you how can you accept change right now with how can you accept and lean into change? So we have three piles. So we have the Morgan Greer Tarot is pile number one. We have the Radiant Rider Waite Tarot is number two. And we have the Gilded Tarot as number three. So how can you accept and lean into change with grace? How can you gracefully accept and lean into change? And we're going to take a look at some of your, maybe a blockage or where you're blocked. Energy is blocked. So, all right, so go ahead and pick your pile and we'll get started. Okay, so this is for those of you who chose pile number one, which is the Morgan Greer Tarot. So first I'm going to look at maybe where there might be a blockage. So, oops, sorry, kitty. Okay, so we have faith, and this is going to be your third eye chakra. And then we also have temperance, fallen angel. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so we'll put those to the side. And then let's see what you have for your cards. You have the magician. You have the star. You have the fool. Oops, I didn't realize how many cards I got. You have the Ten of Wands. Hi. Okay, come here. Come here. Come here. Sorry, guys. Okay. And you have the King of Swords. Shh. Shh. Hi. You also have We Are the World, which is like the World card in the Rider-Waite, and the Lovers, which is like the Lovers card, Rider-Waite. You also have New Beginnings. Okay, so we're asking, how can you gracefully accept and lean into change right now? Because everybody's kind of going through change right now. So, wow, there are a lot of big messages here. So first of all, what I'm seeing is that if you chose pile number one, you could be having a lack of faith right now. You could be feeling um, like hopeless, a little bit hopeless. You could be feeling like, everything is kind of turning against what you perceive as good in the world. Um, you, so, but how can you lean into this change then? How can you lean into what's happening? I feel like for those of you who chose this pile, it's very stressful for you. Um, you're very much desiring healing and a new beginning. You're trying to figure out. I do see you actually trying to figure out how you can use the tools that you have. Um, but this sort of like lack of faith, this sort of like feeling hopeless, this hopelessness right now is actually kind of contributing to you not being able to manifest the way that you can. So I am saying that universe is saying you do have the tools. You do have what it takes to get through this stressful time. There is going to be, you have the power to like change this turn of events. Change yourself and kind of change your world. Sorry, kitty, come on. Um, and you might need to you might have some healing that you want to that you need to go through with all this. Maybe this lack of faith, because usually when we have lack of faith or we have hopelessness, it usually starts with us. And I know that sounds like so trite, and you probably heard that 1,000 times. But what I mean is looking into yourself. I see some sort of decision. I see some sort of decision. I see some sort of decision specifically about your interaction with the world, with the people in the world, your interaction with your with yourself, with the world, if that makes sense. And so, needing to kind of like have that clarity, to be able to use that wise mind, to be able to kind of recognize where your truth is. That's how you're going to have this new beginning. That's how you're going to start this new beginning. Recognize that it's stressful. Like, validate that for yourself. Yes, it is stressful. You are stressed. That's okay. But you don't need to stay in um, this stressful period. And I do see, because we have the Magician here twice, this new beginnings card is like the Magician card. So I do see, you have everything that it takes. Like, do you see how this lady, she's just like walking on the world? Like, you have that ability. You have it within you to be able to, change your surroundings, to heal yourself, heal the world, to, have a better outcome for yourself, to have this new beginning. You need to use this wise mind. You need to, um, I see if you chose pile number one, you could be a very spiritual person. You could be even like a very religious person. Um, Whatever the case may be, this everything going on around you is either it's contributing, in a way where you're losing. It's like this helplessness, and you're feeling like you don't have what it takes to get through this, and you do. And you have people around you who, want the same things as you, and it just is this, you have to make this decision to, to take this leap of faith, I see faith so much here, like so much, oh, and did I say this was a magician? This is a fool, sorry. I was, but, so this is like taking that, like, you know, having that bravery, that courage to kind of, get through this stress, get through this burdensome time. I know it's stressful. I know it's burdensome for everybody. And I apologize. The cat kind of like threw me off today. But anyway, so yeah, I do see new beginnings. I do see there's ultimately, it's your decision. Universe is saying it's your decision. You play a role here. You play a role in, creating the environment that you want, creating the world that you want, creating, um, and you do this with your mind. You do this with your mind first, and you use your mind to figure out how you use the rest of your tools, how you use your wand, how you use your pentacle, how you use your cup, how you use your sword, even. So this is a powerful message. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it resonated. If not, feel free to check out the other piles. Thanks so much for stopping by. Okay, this is for those of you who chose pile number 2 or the Radiant Rider Waite Tarot. Let's take a look and see where the blockages may be. We have renewal and we have the Wheel of Misfortune. So, okay, so let's look at your cards. So we have the Six of Swords. You have the Devil. You have the Nine of Wands. You have the Eight of Wands. And you have the Seven of Cups. You also have Intensity, which is like the Knight of Wands. And you have Stress, which is like the Seven of Wands. And you have Transformation, which is like the Death card in the Rider-Waite. So the question we're asking today is, how can you accept and lean into change gracefully? How can you accept and lean into change gracefully? So I'm getting a strong message that you could be blocked. This is the root chakra. The color red is the root chakra, and you could be blocked you could have a heart blockage, and this heart blockage is ultimately blocking your uh, emotional spiritual transformation. You are focusing on, instead of focusing on how these changes can bring about positivity for the future, you're focusing on how this change is, how you're kind of like missing your past instead. And so it's kind of like we have the Six of Swords here. Yeah, it's like with the Devil and the Six of Sword, it's like moving on. You need to move on from, you need to let go of your, how the past is. And this is so hard for everybody. Like, I'm not judging you. It's very difficult. You're having this resistance to moving forward. Um, you have been probably going through these transformations. You probably have been feeling these transformations happening, but you are resisting them. You're needing to, really move on. You're needing to make that decision to really focus on where your power is. And your power is probably not going to be in the past. Um, I feel like you're overwhelmed. I feel like everything is overwhelming you. Maybe there's like too much coming at you, too much to process. There could be too much to process. And so that's kind of like you're guarding yourself for this self-protection. Maybe it's more of like a self-protection mechanism. If you chose this pile, I see you wanting, you are wanting so badly to, move forward in a positive direction, to even be impulsive about moving forward. But there's just so much holding you back. I feel like you're feeling alone and it's stressing you out. You're feeling alone. You're feeling like, even though there might be other people surrounding you that are going through similar changes or having to deal with similar changes, you're really like taking this attitude of like, you got a bum deal here. This is your misfortune. You missed out. You had your chance to do what you wanted to do and you don't. And universe spirit is telling me with these cards that I have, that is not the case. You have so much opportunity. You have so much that you can move towards. You just have to choose to do so. You just have to choose to let go of this, let go of how it used to be, the way things were. Um, and kind of like lead into this transformation, lead into your personal transformation, but also recognize, things are changing. How can I use this for me instead of against me? You have a lot of opportunity. You have a lot of, um, it looks like there's a lot of good things that you could manifest here if you so choose. It's just about, which direction are you going to flow with that intensity, with the intensity of these emotions? I feel like there's this powerful, so there's this surge. I feel like there's this surge with this transformation, and there's this powerful energy behind it that is just propelling you. But it's going to ultimately come down to you accepting the past for what it is, accepting that things are changing. You are going to need to change, and that this is of no misfortune. This is no misfortune of yours or of anybody's. This is an opportunity. You need to, I think what it is saying is like with the Six of Swords, looking at it as an opportunity to move forward, looking as an opportunity to have courage, to have faith, to have courage, to be able to move forward with this intensity that you do have for those of you. And I know it's been a struggle. I know that, like, I have this Seven of Wands or stress. It's been really stressful. It's been a struggle. It's been, I mean, look at this guy. He has, well, he has three legs, but what I was gonna say is that he's trying to balance on this bubble. He has these candles up in the air that he's juggling. He's trying to play the trumpet, and he's trying to balance on this bubble that his monkey is going to pop. And so this is like, in essence, I mean, haven't we all like felt like this recently? And so it's channeling that intensity. There's this surge. You guys have this surge of transformation, of intense energy that if you are willing to be renewed, to come out of this, sort of darkness and accept, the clarity, the light that's there, I think that like, that's the only way really to move from this is to not focus on what your troubles are, what the past has brought you, but what can you do now to create a better future for yourself? So that was a really heavy reading, pile number 2. Hopefully that was helpful. Um, if not, you could choose from any of the other piles. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping by. I'll talk to you later. All right, this is for those of you who chose pile number 3 or the Gilded Tarot. So first let's take a look and see where your blockage could be. So we have Destiny, and we also have Seven of Torment, Counterfeit. Ooh. So this would be like the Seven of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot. All right, so let's look at your cards. So you have the Page of Cups. You have the Four of Cups. You have the Eight of Swords. You have the Eight of Cups. And you have the Moon. All right. And then you have Flowering. And this is like the Queen of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And you have Schizophrenia, which is like the Two of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And then you have Conflict and Defeat, which is like the Five of Swords in the Rider-Waite. So the question that we're asking today is how can you accept, um, accept and gracefully, lead into change? How can you accept and gracefully lead into change? So I feel like pile number 3, if you chose this pile, you have a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear right now. Um, you are, I feel like you're really in your head if you chose this pile. You are having, yeah, oh my gosh, I just like washed over me this like sense of like terror pretty much. You are terrified. Um, and you're feeling stuck. You're feeling stuck in these, you're feeling stuck with feeling terrified. You are, um, you're afraid of the unknown, which I am not here to judge anybody. This is totally normal. This is totally typical, especially all the stuff that's happening in the world right now. You are, you're almost feeling, I don't want to say schizophrenic. I mean, that's what this card is called, but you're feeling like torn, like part of you, like it's like your rational mind and your irrational mind. And you're trying to like process this. You're trying to, I'm stuck, I'm afraid, but you're also like, you also sort of know that you also have all of, you have all of this wonderful abundance. You are supported. Your basic needs most likely are being met. You're very skillful. Um, you have a lot to offer, but you are just like pretty much driving yourself crazy with your thoughts. There's so much conflict. There's so much conflict. And it's based on this unknown. You're wanting desperately, emotionally to move away from this conflict, and but at the same time, I mean, there could be some sort of depression here too. And, it's not uncommon for people who struggle with anxiety to have depression at the same time. I know that sounds counterproductive, but it's totally true. Like, even if it could flip flop, and that could be part of like why you're feeling this schizophrenia here is flip flopping. So how do you move through this change gracefully? Well, I feel like there's this sort of this like duality that you're struggling with. You're struggling with this duality. Um, this color, this gray neutral color, this is representing the crown chakra. So this is you, your crown chakra is like you relating to your higher self. So you understand your role in this. You understand you have a huge role. And maybe that's what scares you so much. But I feel like you're feeling like you're not ready, like um the seven of torment, you're like tormenting yourself basically. You understand at some level that you have the ability to develop this intuition, develop this higher state of being to actually sort of have this maybe spiritual awakening. And sometimes this happens with spiritual awakenings. I've been through several, and it's um it's not very it's not easy. It's not easy. No. It's very dark, it's very scary. You could have even heard of the term Dark Night of the Soul, which is what the lady who made these cards, what she named her tarot cards. But it's basically exactly what it sounds like. You go through this process and it's like this purging of kind of like this old you. It's kind of like making this decision to let go of one of these sides. Do you see how this guy is like, you know, basically holding on to this red side over here with his feet, and he's holding on to this green side with his hand, guy or gal, I don't know who it is, this person, and so it's making that decision to let go of one of these sides. How are you going to do it? Are you going to stay stuck? Are you going to keep yourself stuck in these untrue thoughts? Are you going to keep yourself stuck in this anxiety? Are you going to allow your thoughts to basically control you? Um, or are you going to, have faith in this higher power? Have faith that there's a reason that you're kind of going through this like duality, that this is really you're like tormenting yourself. This is torment for you. It's like torture almost, because what's happening is um you're being given an opportunity to recognize where your power is, that you have this intuition, that you're able to, um, maybe you don't know all the facts, but there are things you can develop your intuition, you can develop your emotions. You have, the Queen of Pentacles very abundant in the physical world. So you probably have like stability physically. You probably have stability like in your home or your work life. Um, and so it's just about choosing to move away from the emotions that don't serve us, choosing to move away from the thoughts that don't serve us. Um, it's also recognizing that you are emotionally stable. You may not feel like you're emotionally stable. You may be, focusing on like, well, I don't have these three cups here. And look, the universe, God, whoever is giving this guy, he's like, no, look, I have this huge cup for you. I have this really good opportunity, this cup. And this guy's like, no, I want these three cups. And so it's kind of like moving out of the energy, like what do you have? What can you focus on that you do have? And it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be huge. Yeah, what can you find joy in? Like embracing that inner child within yourself, and focusing on the little things, the joy. How can you transform this, terrorizing energy, which, I mean, it really is, guys. Like, you're suffering so much. Um, this terrorizing energy, how can you transform it into something that works better for you? Into something that's going to, that aligns you with your higher self, that aligns you with God, your higher self, your higher power, your destiny. Um, so, I mean, wow, that's pretty heavy, but I'm not surprised. That was a really good message. If it doesn't resonate, you can feel free to check out my other piles. Thanks so much for stopping by today, guys. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.